Okay, in this video we're going to be discussing composite area, and what that means is we're finding area of figures that are made up of multiple shapes. So in this composite figure, there are several ways that this can be broken down. Your first step is typically going to be to draw lines, and I'm going to draw these as dashed lines, to break the figure into shapes that we know the formula for. So there are several ways to do that. If you look, I could extend this line and create this large rectangle, and I could do that all the way down and just have 4 rectangles. And I know these are rectangles because of these 90-degree angle marks. Okay, that's one possible way, and we'll show you a couple of others just so you can see there's not just one right way. You could do the same thing vertically and break this into 4 rectangles vertically. You could even break it down here to this square. I could come across here and have a larger rectangle, and then here another square and rectangle. So like I said, there's multiple possibilities. Let's just use this one that I've done. And we're going to have to find some missing sides. These tick marks mean congruent. So based on the one tick mark having 3, I can label this side as 3 and this side as 3. And based on the 2 tick marks having 5, this would be 5 and 5. Okay, I have 2 parts not labeled that I will need, so I can figure that out based on what is given. So this length right here is missing. All the way across, parallel to it at the top, is 19, and that's made up of 3, 3, and 5, which is 11. So 19 minus that 11 gives us 8 for this missing length. And we can do the same thing vertically. The entire length should be 15, and we've used 5, 5, and 3, which is 13, so that leaves me with 2 right here. So now I can use that information. I'm going to start in this top corner right here. This is a square. It's 5 by 5. Area of a square, you can do side squared, or just as a basic rectangle, you can do base times height. Either way, you get the same answer. So for this square, 5 squared is 25. Okay, so the area of this interior piece is 25. I'm going to just shade it so I know I've already found it. So we have 25. That's one piece. Okay, now I'm going to move to this larger rectangle, and the entire length is 19, but I'm not using this 5, so I just need to take away 5 from that length. So that area is going to be 14 by the height. The entire thing is 15, but I'm not using this 3 and 2. So take off that 5, which leaves me with 10. So that gives me an area of 140. Okay, and I'll just shade that in to know that I've already done that piece. Okay, this is another square, 3 by 3. So 3 squared is 9. Okay, shade that off, it's done. And last but not least, we have 8 by, this is 2 and another 3, so 8 by 5. 8 times 5 is 40. And now I've found all the missing pieces. Okay, but they want the composite, so I now have to total those up, and you're adding 140 plus 40 plus 25 plus 9. Okay, that is 180, 205, 214. They didn't give us units. Had they, whatever those units are would be squared because we're talking about area. So the grand total is 214 square units. Okay, and now for our second composite figure, we have a hemisphere. Okay, a hemisphere is half a circle. I'm sorry, I shouldn't say a hemisphere, I should say a semicircle. Hemisphere implies 3D. So for my second figure, I have, to break this down, there's already a line drawn here, okay, which we have a semicircle, half a circle, and I can also draw a line across here to create these two separate rectangles. Alright, so first I'll deal with this top rectangle, and up here the entire length is 30 and this piece is 12. That leaves me with 18. The entire length across the bottom is 22, and I've used 15 here. Leaves me with 7. So this top rectangle is 7 by 18, length times width, or base times height, and you end up with a total of 266 for this piece. Now we have this rectangle that we know is 22, okay, by 12. 22 by 12 is 264. Okay, and now we have a half a circle, this semicircle. Area of a circle is pi r squared. Okay, our radius, if the entire length across, which is the diameter, is 12, the radius must be 6. So our area is 36 pi. Or if you were actually going to get a decimal for that, then you could say you would round it to 113.04. That's an approximate. Now those are our three pieces of the composite figure, so for our final answer we have to add those all up. So you could say 266, 264, and 113.04, and we are adding those. And that gives us 643.04. Alright, that could be your answer, and we would say units squared. If you were asked to leave it in terms of pi, you could have written it, just added these two, and then you would say plus 36 pi. So just to show you what that would look like, you would just add 266 and 264. So 13. So you would say 530 plus 36 pi if it was left in terms of pi. And again, that would be units square as well. Okay, and you can do this with any type of figure. Sometimes they'll include a trapezoid, or maybe a kite, or a triangle, some of the other figures that we've found area of in the past. Okay, but I just wanted to give you a quick basic. All you have to do is break it down into shapes you know the formula for, find those individually, add them all up.